What is up? How is everybody doing today? So, like, on the second channel, I've been mostly doing, like, stream uploads and stuff like that, rather than making actual content with, like, thoughts and opinions and stuff. That's just been me gaming, me on Twitch, me going that way, but that's going to change as time goes on. So for the last, like, 2-3-ish weeks, or whatever the hell you want to call it, I've been playing PoE, been getting into it. It's a game that I've always wanted to really get into, but it has such a high skill ceiling, especially when you see things like the passive skill trees. Then even later on, when you don't even realise there's an Atlas skill tree on top of that. Then of course you have all of the different game modes, all of the different game mechanics that can really confuse you, can really make getting into the game very confusing, very annoying to get into, because there are so many different things to learn about it. So this is kind of going to be like a, whatever you want to call it, like, you know, where I'm talking about my experience with learning, like the things that I struggled with, the things that, like how things work and why things work. And in the background you'll probably see me starting my, I think it's my first solo tier, like map tier 6, something like that. It's not pretty, but we managed to get through it. But yeah, so the first one that I would discuss, like as a brand new player, like, yeah, like the things like sockets and links, those things are super duper important. You have to have links and sockets. Like, it's a thing that I didn't get until I was already doing mapping, that I needed to have links in the sockets in order for the links in the sockets to work. Because you would imagine you have like a dual, and then you have the support, and you imagine they would work together regardless. But if there's no link in the socket, then it absolutely makes zero difference whatsoever. It literally just acts like it's two separate things. That's why finding gear with the links already in it and with the already pre-rolled sockets you need is so important. It's things that I didn't realise, things that I know I've thrown away when I was first starting, that I wish I didn't, because I threw away a lot of good stuff that I could have been using. Like me just being very like front-minded, and just trying to go forward, trying to get and progress, rather than to figure out what was going on until it was already going into like learning my second character and stuff like that. Then the next point I would say is, like, don't be afraid to experiment. Experimentation in this game is probably the most important thing. I started off with an SGS Guardian build, and I didn't really like it. I still don't really like it. It's like, it can get you through maps, it can do what it does what it needs to do. Like, it's not a matter of strength or power about it, it's just the play style. So I decided to go into like a more range class, similar to like in Diablo 3. I used to love playing the Demon Hunter, right? We had like 2 crossbows and we just obliterated everything that you could possibly do. And that's just kinda like my preferred style. In RPGs, I love like either going proper mageful or have some crazy fucking power, whichever way you want to go about it, right? But yeah. So like, don't be afraid to experiment. Try all of the early game builds, you know, the builds that are meant to be played early into a season. Try all of them. That's what I'm doing this season. I think the next season starts in March as of this video. So like with that, that's going to be my like chance to try out all the characters now, so that I know what I'm going to play once we go into the season after this. And we're going to see exactly what happens with that. Like, I'm enjoying PoE so far, but there is so much to understand, so much to explore, in a sense. Like, there's just so much to do and so much to learn, that's not even including like making items and knowing how item mechanics work, and knowing like how DPS is calculated in PoE, because even I don't even know that yet. Like, there's so much stuff for me to actually learn about this game. It's so complex. And obviously we're edging ever closer to Path of Exile 2 as well, which is going to be awesome. Going to be a whole new bunch of things to learn with that. I might even stick with like some PoE 1 as well. It just depends as time goes on, at least in my opinion anyway. But yeah. What else would I say to learn, like, as well? Like, you need to try things, you need to know, obviously you have armors and links, like, you have to know how your gems work. The most important bit that I can't stress enough, like, I think that's this is probably the most important of it all, would to probably follow a build guide. Like, if you're not following a build guide, you're not going to have a very good time with it. It's going to be very, very confusing. Even with a build guide, it can be very confusing. It can literally, like, for me, it's very difficult to even think about trying to know where all the passes go, to know what all the passes mean even yet. It would probably take somebody years upon years to fully understand PoE in such a way to build guides, which is why we have people in the community who are much better at this than me. And as I get better, as we go into PoE 2, as we just put time and time and time and effort into this, I'll get better. I'll make better videos. I'll have more in-depth explanations about certain things. But those are like the first few things that I've really come across that really hindered my progress. The first one was not using a build guide. The second one was obviously not realizing how armored worked, how like sockets worked, and how links in the sockets worked. Then obviously, yeah, you get the idea, right? Like, it's all simple things. Like, people think of PoE as like some massive beast, and it is, but you need to go small, start off small, gradually build yourself up, and you'll eventually be able to play. And even here's me now, barely understanding how half of the mechanics in this game work, and still like working my way up the map system, going up to like tier 6 and onwards from this point forwards, man. But still, these are just my ramblings. These are just my thoughts as a new player who's just recently, and I mean recently, joined PoE. But still, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys found this helpful. If not a bit rambly, that's just kind of my style of videos, I think. I don't like doing scripted shit. Scripted shit gets kind of tedious to me anyway. But still, if you guys enjoyed, please do drop me a like. Please do subscribe to the channel. I do stream live on Twitch basically every single day, mostly PoE, or some variation of the game that I feel like playing. But yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. See you guys later.